One topic I want to talk about quite often, and it comes up in the conversations here and there. I enjoy my water. I'm out of water right now. This can be a problem. Is a situation where we have fluoride in the water. So if you didn't know, back in the day, people they ate sweets and junk foods started rising, and people's teeth started rotting out. Yeah, it's not just from the sweet tea from our good friends in the UK. Americans have the same issues, and for some reason we came to a solution where we have fluoride in toothpaste. Fluoride's good for cleaning your mouth. You don't want to drink it, obviously. You don't drink mouthwash or anything like that, but we could just put it in the water. Just put it in the water, bro. That way they don't have to brush their teeth anymore, man. They could just sip on that drink, sip on that fluoride. So what I wanted to do was find a video that was decent, and I've examined a lot of them. This one seems to be the best one. So this person, very unbiased, checks multiple sources. And I've only watched part of it. I was confirming because there's, to research a lot of different videos to react to, and I still want to keep everything raw. This is by reactions, which is kind of ironic because I'm a YouTube creator, I guess you could say now. We're pushing up to almost 700 subs. Hit that sub button if you could. But yeah, let's watch this. This is what the research actually says about fluoride in drinking water. If you wanted to know the truth,
course lately.
Here we go, baby.
Fluoride. I have always taken for granted that water fluoridation is good and a huge win for public health. But lots of people disagree with that due to real research showing that high levels of fluoride in water can decrease IQ in young children.
No way, it can fucking reduce my IQ.
And potentially be a neurotoxin. Now, some of this argument takes place in the media, and a whole bunch of it takes place in the scientific literature. So I want to avoid the shouting and get to the real information, because very truthfully and honestly, I want to be able to be an informed participant in these conversations.
Me too.
I spent 5 years getting a degree in doing my own research, so might as well put it to work. Today is my first big research gathering day. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to go through my outline and figure out what papers are going to help me answer all these questions. How do I wade into this as a bold science communicator and decide that I'm gonna absorb and comprehend decades of research in like 3 weeks? So I'm not going to, right? But that also means today I'm trying to figure out who are the fluoride researchers that I'm trying to talk to. And I think it's hard to do sometimes. The media can fall into the trap of just picking one person on each side of a debate and putting them against each other. And
this is why I like this video. It's already going at an educational basis. On a lot of topics, I'll react to one person's video, and it will obviously be their point of view of the situation, which I love. Y'all probably like as well. But it is nice to get kind of a head count, good, more than just one perspective on the whole situation. So kudos to this person for doing her research. I really do appreciate it.
We know that sometimes can give the public a false idea of how the underlying scientific community feels about a topic. I sat down and I thought about what I knew and what I didn't know about fluoride, and I came up with 7 big questions that I want to answer. We'll start with, what does fluoride do for your teeth? Fluoride works to protect your teeth in 3 ways. It reduces demineralization, it promotes remineralization, and it inhibits bacterial growth. When you drink fluoridated water or brush with fluoridated toothpaste, fluoride ions wind up in the biofilm on your teeth. From there, they travel with bacterial acid into the crystal structure of the enamel, where they replace a hydroxyl group on hydroxyapatite to become fluorapatite. Fluorapatite is much more resistant to acid and can keep your tooth enamel strong. Same with these.
So it's like an overlay for a car.
2 eggs. I smeared this one in fluoridated toothpaste for a day and left this one alone. And when I cover them in vinegar, you can see that the fluoride treated egg is much more resistant to the acid breakdown than the not treated one. And a 2015 meta-analysis that looked at 155 studies found that water fluoridation reduces caries, basically tooth decay, by 35% in primary
Wow. That's a lot.
Teeth and 26% in permanent teeth. In the 1940s, Grand Rapids, Michigan started adding fluoride to their tap water after researchers in the early 20th century discovered 2 things. One, that children who grew up in towns with high levels of fluoride in their water often suffered from dark brown mottling on their teeth, now called fluorosis. And 2, that those same children had almost no dental cavities. The levels of fluoride they added
Hey, yo, what the fuck is this brown shit, though?
Were titrated to keep teeth healthy while reducing fluorosis risk. And over the next 15 years, the incidence of cavities in children born after fluoridation dropped by 60%.
So they're trying to find a
making
medium.
Tooth decay a preventable disease for the first time in history. Fluoride in water works to prevent dental decay. That is not what's in question in public debate.
No.
But what is in debate is,
does it fucking make you stupid?
If water is the best delivery method for it. So is there a difference between ingestion and topical application for dental health? Most results point to the idea that fluoride is most effective topically. So if we can brush with it, swish with it, chew it, that seems to be the most effective.
I feel like chewing wouldn't be the best method, because if you're chewing it, you're like chewing gum, and when you chew gum, you're usually swallowing your saliva. No pause, no diddy, don't get weird about it, but like for real, like I don't think that's the best way to do it. That's why, like, for instance, I vape, right? I know a lot of y'all don't like me vaping and stuff like that. It is what it is. It's like my nicotine device. Like, that, it's better than me smoking cigarettes and smoking cigars, smoking Black & Miles, because I've done all those. Not really cigarettes. That was usually when I was drunk or something like that, you know, but still, it's a better delivery method. And I never would want to like use nicotine gum, because I just feel like swallowing nicotine seems like a really weird idea. It's also why I'm kind of weirded out about the what are those like the Zens that are really popular nowadays? I don't know if those are healthier than I'm sure they're healthier because you're not, you know, inhaling it all the time, but still, like, there's got to be weird side effects about swallowing nicotine. I don't know.
You ever had those fluoride rinse days at school, or have to sit for 60 seconds with fluoride trays in your mouth? These are other strategies that modern dentistry uses to get that fluoride where it needs to go.
Okay.
I hated those trays, though. They always made me feel like I couldn't.
Bro, mine always pop out when I go to the dentist. I hate going to the fucking dentist. It's so annoying, bro. And I used to fucking sneak candy from my pantry when I was a little kid. Oh my God, Halloween, bro. I used to take my pillowcase, and then I used to stuff that pillowcase in my other pillowcase, and then I used to go trick-or-treating and get, you know, do 2 pillowcases up, fill them bitches up, and I would come home. I would hide the one on the porch behind the bushes, and then I would come in with the other one. And then when they went to sleep, open up that front door, get the other pillowcase, because they would take my candy. They'd only give me, you know, a couple pieces a day or whatever it might be. But I put that one I wanted, and usually it was the good candy. And I try to pick off the top, all the Reese's, and throw them into one bag. And then I would, you know, sneak that into my bed. And obviously I had bunk beds, so they couldn't even tell. I was just sleeping on a bag of candy. So yeah, I had a couple cavities growing up.
Right.
Hated
but
the
thing is, modern dentistry is really different from dentistry in 1945 when adding fluoride to water began. Fluoride containing toothpaste and mouthwash is in basically every grocery store, and while access to dental care isn't perfect, because why are my special face bones not covered by my normal health insurance? Dental care is certainly more widespread. So do we really need to be adding fluoride to water in 2025? In fact, this review... Are you a meta-analysis or a review? People will be grumpy. This is a review. There was even a review from 2024 that found that while community water fluoridation seemed to lead to a greater reduction in dental caries in kids, it potentially had smaller effect sizes than in pre-1975 studies back before dental care was what it is now. So what happens if we start taking fluoride out of places where we've added it? I was just driving to the grocery store, and it's rare.
I would guess a lot of people would have teeth issues for sure, because I you might not believe it, but there's a lot of people that don't brush their teeth. Like if you watch football and you've seen the Lions play, bro, you might have seen the head coach grilling a couple times. That boy's got some plaque built up on that motherfucker, boy, oh boy. But yeah, I would assume that we would have a dental crisis, which is interesting to think about, because if you don't drink tap water and you just drink stuff like, you know, Dasani and Fiji and Core and, you know, these name brand water brands that are a little bit more expensive, a little bit more bougie, I guess you could say. I wonder if they have any fluoride in them. I doubt they do, which would make sense why they cost a little bit more. I need to do like a water test on this stuff.
That I get to work on a story that is so topical. There was a story on NPR about a city council member from Calgary talking about how when he was first elected about 10 years ago, they removed fluoride from the water, and then they saw an increase in the incidence of dental caries, and now the residents wanted the fluoride
back.
Sense. And go look at the sources. The study found a significantly higher rate of dental caries, especially in primary teeth, in kids in Calgary. A local hospital also saw that the number of dental infections in children that were so bad that they required IV antibiotics for treatment also increased by 700%. Calgary voted to start adding fluoride back into their water in 2021. 2025, we still have evidence that adding fluoride to water decreases dental decay.
Yeah.
So why is there any question about fluoride in water?
Here we go.
It's because over the past 2 decades, a number of studies have shown that children exposed to high levels of fluoride during development have lower IQs.
And I've covered topics that have talked about autism before, and I want to be clear. I love everybody, and in a perfect world, there would obviously not be any diseases or disabilities or anything like that. And I think now that people are looking at health a lot more, I think this is because of like baby boomers are getting older in age, and they're kind of realizing, hey, I kind of want to live longer. So health is actually more of a, not a luxury, but something they're pursuing a lot more often. I really do think it's because of the baby boomers, because there's so many of them, right? I think that's why we're seeing such a shift on not just like mental health, but like physical health and therapy and rehabilitation and low joint exercise, whether that be like in a water treadmill or something. There's a lot of luxury items out there that you might not even know about that have been popping off like crazy. Like people are buying saunas and cold plunges and a whole lot of shit you never saw on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that. But now it's everywhere, bro. It's fucking everywhere. It's insane.
So this goes back to one of my original questions. Does fluoride have neurological effects at community water fluoridation levels? One of the most high profile, which sparked a lot of controversy, was a study also out of Canada. It used a data set called MIREC, which looked at environmental exposures during pregnancy. The researchers looked specifically at fluoride, and they looked at both a subset of women who had given urine samples and a subset of women who had self-reported fluoride exposures during pregnancy. They compared these to children's IQs at ages 3 and 4. They found that higher fluoride exposures during pregnancy, as measured...
Oh my God. Does it say how many test subjects there were, or what the fuck? Yeah, non-fluoride is higher almost everywhere except for girls. Birth weight. Sorry,
by urinary levels were related to lower IQ in boys. And as measured by self-reported consumption studies, higher fluoride intake meant lower IQs in all children by about 3 to 4 IQ points. Ooh. The authors and proponents of this study suggested that pregnant people should watch their fluoride.
I bet you they were criticized for making this fucking paper. I guarantee you it. And then people probably got mad and were like, we can't recreate this. This evidence is false. I could be assuming, because obviously there's been a lot of drama in the science industry or department or field. Third time's a charm. That's what my name is, Trey. But yeah,
fluoride consumption, and the baby formula should be made with non-fluoridated bottled water. There have been some strong criticisms of this paper for things like how they measured maternal fluoride exposure using urine samples, and for how they addressed the results to the public.
What I said.
And this got personal and heated. There were letters sent calling for resignations.
I bet there's someone that makes a lot of money by, creating fluoride and mixing it into the water. I bet that's an industry. That someone's getting paid to do that for sure. It just doesn't happen naturally. You know what I mean?
And knowing all of that, when I read this paper, my reaction was kind of like, oh, that's it? This felt like an interesting result that should be followed up on, but not the giant smoking gun that the media and literature war seems to make it out to be. I mean, look at these graphs. Sure, there is an association here, but it doesn't seem damning. And especially considering that the maternal exposure on the right was estimated using things they knew about the mothers and their habits, not directly tested. It just seemed kind of overblown. Should more research be done to follow up on this?
Yes.
Absolutely. For me, the study was just kind of like okay, that's interesting result. It wasn't like, whoa.
The first piece of the puzzle, baby.
Whoa. But the MIREC study is not the only study that has found an association between higher fluoride levels and lower IQ. In mid-2024, the National Toxicology Program released an initial analysis of 74 studies that looked at fluoride exposure and children's IQs and found, quote, a statistically significant association between higher fluoride exposure and lower children's IQ scores, showing that the more fluoride a child is exposed to, the more likely that child's IQ will be lower than if they were not exposed.
How about
Community water fluoridation fluoridation in the United States
They're
is
nerfing
currently
them at
recommended
birth,
to be
bro.
0.7
It's
milligrams
crazy.
per liter or 0.7 parts per million of fluoride in water. The optimal range used to be 1.2 milligrams per liter in some parts of the US. Colder places where they assumed you might drink less water had a high.
Why would you drink less water in colder places? Like, I get, like, being hot. Like, I get, actually, never mind. I'm fucking stupid as hell. I must have had too much fluoride, bro. Yeah, obviously you sweat more and then you dehydrate more. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Higher recommended level of fluoride than hot places where they assumed that you would drink more water. But we're now at 0.7. The World Health Organization recommends a standard of 1.5 milligrams per liter. The studies in the NTP monograph I just mentioned looked at many communities whose fluoride levels were much higher than this in the 1.5 milligram per liter levels due to naturally occurring fluoride in the water.
Okay.
Also, most of these studies were performed outside of the US, with many of the studies occurring in China, India, and Iran, and other international locations. The NTP report specifically said that it could not make conclusions about the safety of community water fluoridation, but instead was focused on the risks of high fluoride levels. From this data, it seems pretty clear that high levels of fluoride in water could negatively impact IQ levels in children. The scientific article version of this paper.
I didn't even I didn't realize they had like such high levels in water anywhere.
Came out in JAMA Pediatrics on January 6th, along with 2 editorials commenting on it, one positively and one negatively. I always know going into these things that I'm going to have to read more research than I think I'm going to have to read, but this really was sliding in at the 11th hour. The main article breaks apart the 74 studies into ones that they considered to have high bias and ones that have low bias, which is their way of classifying how rigorous, and yes, biased or unbiased a study is. What I wanted to know was what the high quality, low bias study said about fluoride levels below 1.5 milligrams per liter. And the abstract said, quote, among the subset of low risk of bias studies, there were inverse associations when exposed groups were restricted to less than 4 milligrams per liter, less than 2 milligrams per liter, and less than 1.5 milligrams per liter.
What about none?
Analyses of fluoride measured both in water and in urine, which makes it sound like there were adverse effects below 1.5 milligrams per liter in water levels. But if you go look at the 3 studies that met those qualifications, the association is not statistically significant.
No.
It's really frustrating that these studies are mostly looking at water fluoride levels far above what we add to water here in the United States.
Yeah, there should be a category for 0, a controlled group. Like what?
So I feel the need to document that this is how
that doesn't make any sense to me at all.
My Sunday night internet with chips and guacamole and science papers. For you, internet. For you.
Thank you.
To our knowledge, no studies of fluoride exposure and children's IQ have been performed in the United States. They say in here that this was not designed to address the broader public health implications of water fluoridation in the United States, but that's not how it's being reported in the media.
Good.
Why? Why have we done this in Canada and in Mexico and in all of these other places and not here? Is there?
I thought it was gonna be like some kind of loophole to actually do a very thorough research analysis, but unfortunately, it's not. It's not what I expected.
Just that nobody wants to fund it, and it's like a big, annoying study to do. Is it really that like we just didn't realize until recently that this was something we should do? See how big this industry is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm frustrated. I'm going to add what I think is an important note here, that there are about 2.9 million people in the US living in communities where water fluoride levels do exceed WHO recommended levels above 1.5 milligrams per liter due to natural groundwater fluoride. Now, these studies indicate to me that we do need to be talking about how to lower fluoride levels in those communities. That feels like a public health initiative that could do some meaningful good based on these results.
It's Flint, Michigan. They still got what was it? Oh fuck! What do they have in their water? Do they still have lead in their water? Because I don't think we're gonna even get to this before we get to that. Like really, they've had lead in their water for so long. I hope that they finally fix that situation. I doubt it though, because I mean, ever since I was a little kid, Flint, Michigan's had fucking lead in their water, which is fucking wild, bro. Like how?
But that is not what any of the headlines or arguments are actually talking about right now. Part of the problem is that these studies are observational, not experimental. But all of this left me with even more questions. First of all, do a few IQ points here or there even matter? On a person-to-person level, probably not, but on a population level, maybe. How reliable, also, is testing a child's IQ? How do we compare studies that are looking at all different levels of fluoride exposure?
So true. To examine your IQ, because I've actually wanted to do this before, you have to go do like a professional like psychological, I don't know, proctor or evaluator, and do the like series of tests and stuff like that. You could do stuff online, but obviously it's gonna be skewed, because if you take that and then take it again and then take it again and take it again and take it again, your IQ is going to go up, and that's not how it works, guys. I know you wish it did that, but if you're worried about your IQ maybe you clicked on this video because you're worried you're dumb or something like that, it's okay. We love everybody here. You could just play board games. A lot of like games like physics based are really good for you. There's a lot of different ways to improve it, and it's like a tool. It's like a muscle, like anything. Like your biceps, you do curls and stuff like that. You just gotta play board games, read books, do stuff that people don't do anymore because we have technology.
Exposure. Many are using different methods of testing IQ or cognition, and almost none of them are looking directly at the IQ effects on communities here in the US who are exposed due to community water fluoridation. And again, that was really frustrating to me, and I spent a lot of time on Google Scholar trying to find something like this, a big longitudinal prospective study of the effects of community water fluoridation on IQ levels in children in the US, and it's not really out there. Now, some people have tried similar things. For example, a paper published in December of 2024 looked at Australians who have a similar water fluoridation program to us.
I'd assume this actually is a very hard experiment to do, because you have to have a lot of different controlled groups, and it's not just like random people that you can test like a medication or something like that. It's a scenario where you're having kids from birth, and then also you have to make sure that the women that are pregnant with the children don't ingest fluoride, or they do, and who wants to sign up for I want to be the test group for the 4% fluoride per liter. Like, no one wants to do that. No. So yeah, this is a tricky one to actually do.
They looked at adults who had been exposed or not to community water fluoridation under the age of 5 and found no connection between adult intelligence and fluoride exposure. Now, the N is small here. It is under 400 people, but they just found no difference. Like, these are some of the most boring graphs you have ever seen.
Yeah.
Just like nada.
A line.
There was also a study that followed people in New Zealand for 38 years that found similar results.
Are you 38 years and there's nothing, like, what?
No dramatic historical decreases in IQ have been seen following widespread implementation of community water fluoridation or worldwide introduction of fluoride toothpastes. Instead, historical comparisons have documented substantial IQ gains across countries since the mid-1900s. We've been doing community water fluoridation. We've been giving people fluoride in their toothpaste. People drink tea a lot, and we just don't see like a dramatic. Like, people didn't just get stupider. Like, all jokes aside, it's not like we started community water fluoridation.
Well, I think we did when social media came around. I think that's something we all can agree on, for sure. And your definition of stupid it changes, but there's definitely a lack of it's called street smarts, book smart. Yeah, people got dumb.
And everyone just got less intelligent. There's no data to suggest that. But I'm going to be honest at this point that I am exhausted. I've been doing this for weeks now. Most people do not have jobs that let them do stuff like this. No. We cannot all be doing all this reading. We have other jobs to do and other issues that we need to be informed on. Yeah. And these are just the highlights of this research. And I know down in the comments, you're going to tell me that I missed your favorite paper or your favorite piece of data on this. But like, this video cannot be 3 hours long. Producer Elaine will kill me. So I asked some experts. How do you balance the positive dental health benefits of fluoride with potential negative mental health benefits? The predominant sense is that we need to be doing a risk-benefit analysis here. Most people felt that fluoride is beneficial for dental health and that keeping some level of it in tap water has protective dental health benefits for kids here in the US. But that fluoride can be neurotoxic at high levels, especially in places where it's naturally occurring in ground.
I still think that there's a possibility of, for sure, with the lack of research that has been done, that she's presented at least, that even below 1.5 per liter, that it could still be detrimental. And she did read off some papers where it seemed that way in the beginning. I mean, the results weren't like clear as day, but it was still indicating that at least like 2 to 3% down, or points down.
Water, but that the data suggests it's not a problem at levels currently recommended in the US. Risk-benefit analysis. The dose makes the poison. That is what I have landed on in this whole conversation. Fluoride is bad at super high levels. but it's necessary and even protective at low ones. We need better data to make a conclusion.
This is also about the IQ, and it's very early stages. There's obviously some studies that were like 38 years long, which is ridiculous. That's very long and very extensive. You think you would have better data than that, but whatever. Not just like the long terms of other health risks as well. Is it just a neurotoxin? Probably, but who knows, right?
Conclusive statement about where the dose that's beneficial
Could be other
dentally
things that we don't
but
really
not
understand.
detrimental cognitively lies. And based on all of
Like
this,
disorders, for
I think the
instance.
data points to the fact that we seem to be pretty close to it with our like 0.7 milligrams per liter level. I think that we should keep community water fluoridation at the current levels. But this is my personal opinion. It is not one of any organization. I am not a public health official. I am just someone trying to be really informed about this issue and feel confident in how I talk about it and how I vote on it and all that kind of stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really hoping she would say it needs to be reduced, but great video for sure. Go give her a sub if you like this video by reactions. Let's look at the comment section real quick. Actually, before we do that, let me look up something else. I'm gonna do it off because I'm gonna use. No, we're not talking about rivals right now. Where'd my? There we go. I'll pull that over here. And yeah, let's go back over here. All right. Go to the comment section real quick, and then we're gonna do a little money search. It's always good to follow the money, and let's just put this in perspective. But comments first, right? Top one is when people say I did my research, this is what I wish they meant. Thank you, friend. Yeah, exactly. This is why we picked this video. Amazing video by far. 2K likes, dude. Go please. If you're watching this video after it's done, go give her a like. This is a tremendous video. Damn near over half a million subscribers. I'm shocked with 2K. That's wild. I did real research and looked at the real statistics before making an opinion. Please don't send threats. What a time to be alive. Thank you for the efforts. This was informative. It for sure was. Now I want to actually do something else real quick. I want to follow the money. That's always, fun. Follow the money. All right, so I'm going to pull up this real quick. And I'm going to talk to our good old friend ChatGPT because, oh, how reliable are they? But I do just want to get a scope for this. So how much money does the fluoride industry make a year? All right, we have the global fluoride industry encompasses a wide range of products and applications, leading to significant annual revenues in 2022. The global fluoride industry was valued at approximately, wait for this, comment down your guesses below. I want to know if you're up or low. $1.067 billion. Focusing on a specific segment, the sodium fluoride market was valued at $699.8 million in 2023 and is projected to reach 1.155 billion. Yes, that's a B with a bill. Oh wow, this is a prediction by 2031, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 5.74. Similarly, the aluminum fluoride market was valued at 2.1 billion in 2023, with expectations to reach 2.9 billion dollars by 2030. Expectations of 4%. Oh my God, yeah, 4%. In the dental sector, high fluoride dental products had an estimated market size of 2.89 billion. Wow, that makes a lot more sense because it's obviously everyone needs toothpaste and mouthwash. If you don't use those, I would recommend it. Just don't get the fluoride kind. I use Sensodyne. It's good. Some people actually will brush their teeth just with like baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. I don't know how effective that is, but one of my buddies does that. I remember when I slept over at his house when I was a kid, and he was like, "Oh, it's okay. You forgot your toothpaste? Here, use this. Some baking soda and hydrogen peroxide." I was like, "What? What are you trying to kill me? You're trying to poison me?" I thought it was wild. But in the dental sector, the market size of 2.89 billion in 2023 projected to grow at a 4.3% from 2024 to 2030. The broader dental fluoride treatment market was valued at 14.11, oh my God, billion in 2024, with projections reaching 19.3 billion by 2030, growing at a CAGR of 5.5% from 2025 to 2030. Wow. Wow. This is just a little brief rundown, but yeah, you get my point, right? The fluoride industry is way bigger than you probably expected. Way bigger. And these are actually subsections of the fluoride industry itself. This isn't like a compound or anything like that. Obviously, there's multiple, routes that you can profit off of this industry. So yeah, I would just say, why haven't people maybe, it's just my guess, my gut feeling, why haven't people done like the extensive research? And obviously we talked about it. It's probably hard to do the type of research. But why? Because a lot of people are making money off of it. And why not just pay off the scientists and say that, hey, there was no change at all? I don't know. That's just a hunch. That's just me being cynical, putting my tinfoil hat on. I don't know. If you agree with me, comment down below. If you don't, comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts on this whole situation is. Do you drink water with fluoride in it? Do you not? Do you use fluoride in your products? Do you not? Do you have some kind of conspiracy theory of why, the lack of research, or maybe what what it really does? I don't know. But yeah, let's keep the conversation flowing in the comment section down below. I really hope you enjoyed this reaction to the subject. It's something that's been brought up multiple times nowadays. Health is such a big thing. We're obviously in the beginning of the year, and I just want to be a little bit more educated on the subject, and it's cool to see someone that went out and did all the research. Wow, what a great video. Comment down below, like the video, help push this video out to more people. Hit that sub button to join the ether. I'm not the ether, I'm Trey. We're the ether, and the ether's growing, man. It's awesome. So if you could hit that like button, it helps push it out to more people, and it makes my day so much better. And it also, the more we grow, the cooler and the more fun content we can actually do. And I can produce something where I can have an editor involved, which is my dream one day, because then I can do something very, very creative. But yeah, it is what it is. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, I hope this entertained you for the amount of time you watched it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.